You so much for watching my stream. Before you jump into this red hot action, let's review the rules. Don't be a dick. This should go without saying, but better safe than sorry. Chat with me. You know that I can talk at my computer for hours, but it's more fun when my computer talks back. And let's have a good time. I don't mind getting sweaty, but we can have fun while we do it. Use the chat command deck for a link to the list I'm playing here. It's also in the video description. Some of these decks are sick, and you might want to play them in real life. In that case, let me refer you to Hemel from the Bazaar. It's never been more affordable to play in the flesh and blood. Players have been buying the cards they need from Hemel for years. I started buying from him in 2023 and have never found a better deal. The Bazaar's prices are the lowest for singles, full sets, and class sets, including new releases. Super Slam singles and more are available now and ship both domestically and internationally. Use the command Hemel for contact info, then reach out to see what he can do for you. Now settle in and get cozy because the stream begins now. Oh, it helps if I unmute my mic instead of just unmuting my OBS. My fiasco. That's exactly right. Damn.
None of you heard my awesome commentary. Those were the best jokes, too. I'm just going through the Talishar Discord now, trying to see if anyone... it looks like maybe it works. It's just that my username and password are deleted. So... let's see. Let's not do that. Let's do all in together. I barely know her. Ow. Is this too long? Hell yeah. We're so in. Oh no, now you're all gonna see my email address. Oh no. I have to it's terrible. I can't show you my email. This is where it all falls apart. This is where it all falls apart. Okay. Now I will confuse you all. I'll keep you all in the dark. You have to use a passphrase. You can't use a password. That's the thing. Oh, wow. You're not going to let me copy and paste my password? Rude. Reddit email is already in use, but you deleted your database. All right, we're so in. Okay. All right, so what you're telling me is Talishar isn't working. Fellow Rune enjoyer. Yeah, well, that's going to make the stream a little difficult if I can't play Talishar. So, hey, Brandon. Well, what else you got for me? Talishar Discord, nothing? All right. Well, pop over to OBS. Hi, everyone. It's me. It's Lupinefiasco. Center this, Presentation is key. Hey, everyone. Hi. Is me tier list time? Oh, my God. You're so right. That's how we fix this. Oh, my God. That's what the other content creators do when they need cheap, easy content. So you go into tier list. Let's see, what tier list are we making today? Let's make me small again. Brandon, you're so right. Brandon said, Narbnod saved the stream, everyone. We were going to have to stop it, but now I get to make a tier list. I've never done a tier list before. Go over to, if you're all not on fablazing.com, allow me to give a shout out to one of my sponsors. The positive side of the game I was able to play last night on Stage Aurora. We're going awesome. Silksong Gaming. I could play Hades. I do quite enjoy Hades. But no, I've never made a tier list before. This is awesome. All right, so what tier list are we making? We're not going to do a classic constructed tier list because we get it, right? Like, we know what's good in classic constructed decks that make you angry to run into at a pro quest. Well, that's just all of them. An Upliving Legend, because we want all of the heroes available. Let's do... Oh, I haven't logged in with Metafy yet. Damn it. I have a Patreon. I don't have a Metafy with Fablazing yet. Maybe later. Oh no. It's all going to hell. It's all going away now. Welp. Shit. I knew I should have done this already. Can I log into Patreon? Are we up? Can we do this? Did we find the hack? Oh, we found the hack. We're so back, chat. Let's see. Would I drink with this hero? And let's see. Yes. if they paid, if I was lonely, no. I don't know, are these good tiers? Chat, do we need more than this? I feel like maybe we need more than this, but I am gonna, it's a good place to start. What I drink with this hero, obviously we're talking about alcohol. I've been known to partake. If you run into me in Philly, there's a good chance that there will be a beer in my hand. So we can, assume that none of these heroes are disqualified just for the sake of me not wanting to drink, right? Enchant Stacking Simulator. Drinking. Let's see. Content farming with tier list. Okay, great. We've accurately represented what we're doing on the stream today. You'd one tier above yes? You're so right. Yes. It's in all caps, so that's how we know. Cool. All right, so obviously, we're talking about alcohol. The 5 tiers, yes, in all caps is like, yeah, I'm 100% raw, Lowercase yes, like, yeah. I mean, maybe I've got something else going on that day, so like we're not, like obviously if I have other engagements, I'm not going to go drinking. But like I would, if they paid. This is really like, the answer is no, but I don't dislike the hero so much that it's just an emphatic no. Like if they pay, yeah, I would. If I was lonely, like I gotta be down in the dumps. This is like, they are actively better than like not killing myself. So I would get a drink there, and then no is like, absolutely, I refuse. So we're gonna, we'll just go down the list. We have 53 heroes in the pool. We could expand this to Blitz if I wanted to, but would I buy the round versus if they hand one to you? Yeah, that's the difference between yes and yes. Either of these, I would buy my own drinks if they paid. Like, there's got to be an incentive here. So we'll start with Arachne Slip Through the Cracks. And I'm also, as much as possible, removing meta knowledge of, like, hey, I've played Slippy in my time, so I like the hero based on that. No. This is nothing to do with competitive Flesh and Blood. This is just based on vibes. I'm gonna give Slippy an if they paid. And I'm gonna do the same for Marionette. And the reason is, they're chaos heroes. They're just weird. Like, these are 2 weird creatures. I don't know that we even know what Slippy and Marionette are. I know that the pronouns are it. So I gotta think that, like, they're out there. And that could be entertaining, right? We all have our friends that we spend time with, and they're just messes, but like in a fun way, in an entertaining way. But you don't want that every time, Sometimes you do just want to relax, hang. You've had a hard day at work, and you just don't need the chaotic energy that a Slippy and a Marionette bring to the table. So we're gonna put them if they pay. There's got to be an incentive. I'm scared any Arachne would spike my drink. I think that is canonically true. That the Spike with Blood Rot promo art is just a poisoned cake. Like, this is possible. And I think we're going to do that. We're going to take Huntsman, and we are going to move Huntsman down to, we're going to put Huntsman in no for that reason, Brandon. That's a great point. You look at the art for Vipox, canonically Huntsman will spike your drink. So we are just going to say no on Huntsman. Aurora Shooting Star, emphatic yes. Actively interested. I am contacting Aurora. Let's update the tiers. I will contact them. Oh no. I will contact. They must contact. You get it. That's the good distinction. Like, I'm reaching out to Aurora. I'm like, hey girl, you want to go get drinks? She seems like she's a ton of fun. She's got that fun, peppy energy. Like, I'm into it. I want to get drinks with Aurora Shooting Star. Azalea Red in the Ledger, same thing, honestly. Different vibe. It's going to be a different experience. You go out with Aurora, we're going to, like, karaoke bars. We're having a great time. She's engaging. She's outgoing. Like, we're getting a group together. Azalea is that friend that it's just the two of you and you're vibing. You're having a good time, but you're not going out in a group. This is just it's a one-on-one. It's an intimate conversation, and I'm down for that. Betsy, again, yes. For the same reason as Aurora, it's a little bit of a different situation. Like, Betsy knows how to... As I'm talking about it, we're going to move Betsy down into, yes, they have to initiate. Like, I need to know the situation that I'm getting into. I want to be able to ask Betsy who else is going, what bars are we hitting, like, is this going to be a crawl? Aurora's how you end up at the after 4 to 5 a.m. But, like, the second location is fine when you're with the right person. Like, I don't know that I want to end up awake at 4 a.m. with Betsy. I definitely don't want to end up at awake at 4 a.m. with Azalea. But Aurora, that's going to be a fun time. And that's the vibe shift between the two of them. Betsy's like a day drinking person, or we're going to a pub crawl. I know what I'm getting into. Personally, I'm not the type to initiate a pub crawl or a day drink situation. So that's why I'm not reaching out to Betsy. But if she comes to me and she's like, yeah, we got plans, we have a situation, like, this is how it's going down, that's what I'm into. But she's going to have to reach out to me. Either Bravo, these are the same person. So I'm going to say we're going to put Bravo in the if they paid tier. I think Bravo's probably a good time to have drinks with. The issue, like, Bravo's a vain guy, and we know this. And this is like, you go drinking with Bravo, and you're signing up to listen to his workout routine. He's going to talk to you about macros. Like, this is not going to be a laid-back experience. This is like almost a transactional relationship with Bravo. Like, he's the dude you look to if you're trying to get back in the gym, you're trying to get the gains, you want those guns, you're single, you know, newly single, you're trying to get back to it. Bravo's your guy. He's got the hookup. He's going to give you his routine. He's going to give you a supplements package. He's going to give you his affiliate code because you know he's a content creator talking about supplements. Bravo just talks about himself the whole time. Absolutely. And sometimes, like, you're into that. But he's a step above if I was lonely. Like, Bravo's still, he's self-centered, he's self-absorbed, but he still seems like a nice guy. He's fun to be with. It's just, there's got to be a little more incentive. Hey, Nick. As you can see, Talishar is down, so we're making a fun tier list that I don't know that anyone's made before. So that's Bravo. Briar, I gotta be honest with you, I don't know enough about Briar. I feel like canonically she's a good time, but if we're comparing her to Aurora, there's just that unfamiliarity where she's Aurora's friend. You know, you were getting drinks with Aurora. Aurora brought Briar to the bar. You, like, kind of hit it off, but you're not really sure if they're a common interest. Like, you're getting to know them. So yeah, if they reach out, you're happy to be included. You're happy that she likes you. You like that about her. But you just don't really know off the top of your head, like, is this the sort of behavior you want to engage with? Is this the person you want? But she is one step away from, yeah, you'd contact her. You just got to get to know her first. Chain, no, he's a weird dude. Like, anyone who walks around without a shirt on, like, weird guy. And you don't know that you want that energy. You think that he could maybe get put away for something. Like, there's maybe been some sort of incident in his past where, like, he killed a person. You don't want anything to do with Chain. This is like, this is below if I was lonely tier. There's just something sketch about this dude. Syndra, we're going to put her in if they paid. There's an intensity here that you don't really always want. But step above if I was lonely. Like, she's just always on about something, on about her exes. Like, what does she need? Vengeance. She needs retribution for something. It's just a weird energy to bring to drinks. -IO, you can see where I'm going with the emphatic yes category. I like the energy. I don't always bring the energy to a situation, so if someone's going to do that for me, then I'm on board with it. And Dash.io is going to have some, she's paying. Because she works with Techlo Industries, like she's loaded. And I think she's in some way related to management. She always orders shots of Fireball. Oh, Syndra does? Maybe in a different time. I used to be a big Fireball drinker. In my early 20s, if I was pre-gaming, it was always Fireball. Did it taste good? Absolutely not. But it was still, I don't know, more for the fun of it than anything. You know what? That's a good point, Nick. We're going to bump Syndra up. She's your friend from your early 20s who maybe you've drifted apart in life. You're not always into the same things anymore. Like, at this point, maybe the only thing you have in common is that you were friends in your early 20s. But that doesn't mean that you won't still go see her. It's just there needs to be a little extra incentive. That's a great point. Dio brings the fun, brings the energy, is probably paying anyway. I will emphatically go out for drinks with Dio. Dash.IE, she's just starting out. There's a burden there. There's maybe a chip on her shoulder. She's not quite as evolved, maybe a little younger than Dash.io. So I do want a little more incentive before I go for drinks with Dash.IE. But I'm interested. Dorinthia. I don't know enough about her. I'm going to put her in if they paid. Do want to just tuned into the best content for Fab. Taylor, there's no Talishar. And I gotta be honest with you, my chat voted for me to play Living Legend today, so I'm not even upset that I don't get to play Talishar. I just wish I had a little extra notice that Talishar was down. I would have maybe put more thought into this segment. Would I drink with Dorinthia Iron Song? She needs to pay. Again, sort of the same thing with the Bravos. There's an intensity here. She's always just on about it. She's sober. Nick, you're so right. And we're going to bump her down for that. Nick, we got to get you in for this tier list. She's sober. That's such a great point. I'm not saying that she's a bad friend. I like my sober friend in other contexts. But would I drink with this hero? If Dorinthia Ironsong is asking, my sober friend is asking me to go to drinks, something's going on here. This isn't even a, like, if they paid. I gotta be lonely, right? Like, if my sober friend reaches out to me and says, hey, can I come over? Yeah, 100%, absolutely. I want to help you out. Like, something's going on. Please come hang. We can play Flesh and Blood. We'll play video games. We can watch TV. Like, something's going on. It might be a while. Well, thankfully, we got 39 heroes left in this hero pool, and that's not even including the Blitz heroes. But if my sober friend asks me to a bar, like, something's weird. There's a weird energy there, and I don't want to be a part of it. She's the DD, but I got to be putting something together. Like, if Betsy reaches out and says, we're going drinking, Aurora's going to be there, Briar's going to be there, Dorinthia's going to be there, I'm like, yes, absolutely. But just in a one-on-one context, absolutely not, unless I was lonely. Dromai? No, absolutely not. We can compare Syndra, Blitz heroes are too young, some of them. We're going to have a lot of no's, but I mean, Genus, the Emperor, most of the Guardians. Young here is just a designation there. Like, Genus is definitely 21, you know what I'm saying? Or 18 if I was in Europe. What's the difference between Dromai and Syndra? Syndra is your friend from your early 20s. She maybe hasn't outgrown the scene, but if she's paying, sure, you're into it. Dromai, you've never been friends with Dromai. Like, Dromai is someone you knew from high school, you grew up together, maybe you knew her in college, but you were never one-on-one. Like, you know of her, but you're not friends. It's weird that Dromai is reaching out to you for drinks. No, emphatic no, absolutely not. Enigma, I'm gonna put her in yes. So we can compare a lot of the same here. As Dromai only drink expensive wine. Not my scene, Daddy-O. Enigma and Dromai, we can compare Enigma's a yes. She's not an emphatic yes. I need a little more from her. I'm going to go out. I need her to pay. She's kind of weird, but like in a good way. Like, you weren't best friends in college. But you were friends. You ran in the same circles. She was just not real, like a little out there, a little weird. But you're still happy to reconnect. Like, you're happy to be in touch. You just need her to be paying. Like, you're not actively reaching out to her, but if she reaches out to you, like, she's a good time. I'm buying Bravo drinks. Tier list is shit. Please resign. Were you here for Bravo? Kasai's the one that will keep talking about her dad. He's Giga Chad and brings homemade sake. I'm a little concerned about someone bringing homemade sake to the function, you know? Like, I don't know, that just strikes me as a little odd. Phi, Rising Resentment, no. Similar with Droma. Like, you know I love Phi. He's my guy. Phi, you were friends with in college, and then he just vanished. Like, he disappeared. Some weird shit happened. He went total anarchy route. And you're, like, down with him politically. Like, okay, you're with some of what he's saying, but he just, like, he's off the rails, okay? We don't need to be nice about it. Like, he has gone too far, and he's going to bring an energy to drinks. Like, you get half a drink in him, and he's just fucking on one. And, like, you don't want to be here for 4 hours listening to his whatever political commentary he's on this week. Fang, he's a step above Phi and Dromai. He's in that Dory tier. Like, he's not just an emphatic no. You will go for drinks with him. He's a weird dude, but he is better than being by yourself. So we're gonna put him in the if I'm lonely tier. I don't have much to say about Fang. Like, this is where we just didn't know each other super well. Florian's gonna have to pay. You like Florian. Florian's your friend, but Florian's just a negative guy. It's always like, my job sucks, my relationship's not going great. Like, there's always just something wrong, and he's always going to complain. And you'll take the drinks. If he's paying for them, you're happy to accept. You're happy to be that shoulder for him to cry on, that helping hand for your friend. But at a certain point, it's just too much. Like, we get it, dude. You're sad. There's something. You gotta change your life. You gotta, like, get into a new field, go back to school, stop dating the same women. Like, something's going on here, and that you need to change, and you can't just keep coming to me. Like, I can't tell you for the 8th time this month, like, goth chicks just aren't your thing. Like, stop dating women you met at work. Like, you gotta be the change that you want to see in the world, you know? But if he's paying, I'll do it. But man, I am not excited about Florian. Florian thinks he's a good wingman, but really he takes all the attention off of you. Florian's just a downer. Like, Florian tries to wingman for you, but him wingmanning for you is like him telling the person that you're trying to hit on, like, what a good friend you are because you talked him through his breakup. And it's like, bro, you are just killing the vibe. Like, this is just not it right now. Gravy Bone Shipwreck Looter. This is going to be a weird take. All right, we're branching out. You might look at Aurora, Azalea, Dio, and you think you're seeing a trend here. They're bubbly. They're pretty. Gravy Bones, totally out of left field. Let me tell you why. I am initiating with Gravy Bones because Gravy always has a story to tell. Like, Gravy is just, you haven't seen Gravy since yesterday. And since yesterday, he's just got something new to talk about. Like, he's your friend with just an infinite amount of lore. Like, he is your friend that you go out with Gravy Bones, and he's, give him his drink. Hey, man, how's your day going? Oh, work is fine. Like, I just, I became... It's just been sort of a real change since I became president of the company. And you're like, what? You were in the mailroom last week. Like, how did I not know about that? And he's, like, again, very low-key, just out of nowhere. Like, hey man, how are you feeling today? Oh, I'm fine. I'm really just processing the fact that my dad was an assassin growing up. You're like, what do you mean your dad was an assassin? Like, yeah, I just learned the other day, like, he was responsible for the Kennedy assassination. And you're like, what the fuck? What? And that's every day with Gravy Bones. That's every single time that you go out with Gravy Bones. Gravy always shows up with a posse, and that's good or bad. Like, we could bump him down for that. Sometimes you do just want to hang out with Gravy, and then Chowder's there, and you're like, oh my god, this guy, I get it. Or, like, you always have to you can't go to bars, you have to go to a brewery because he brings his dog with him, and, like, Scuba's cool, but sometimes it's just not the vibe you're looking for. It's like he's not all positive, but the stories he'll tell, the lore you'll get from Gravy, always worth it. Ira, Scarlet Revenger, again, no. It's just like, we get it. Like, you're on one. Like, she's an angry drunk. She shows up angry. And it just gets more angry from there. Gravy's Woody Harrelson? Yes, exactly. Ira is just, she's not fun. She brings an intensity to the event that you just don't want. She shows up angry, makes it all about her. She's just always mad. And that's not good. You don't want that energy. There's at no point do you ever want that energy. Icelander, going strictly on vibes. I do think that she needs to initiate. I'm going to say yes. I do. Betsy should be higher on drinking. So the reason Betsy is where she is that she just rages. Like, it's always an event with her, and sometimes that isn't what you're looking for. Sometimes you're not going to reach out. But, like, when she initiates, when you know what you're getting into with Betsy, that's when she's at her best. Icelander, you like her. She's your friend, but she can be a little cold. Am I right? Because ice. So she can be a little cold, like, sometimes. There's just been enough times that you've called Icelander to make plans and she said no, that you don't want to make plans anymore. Like, right, she's that kind of friend. Like, you love Icelander. You're always happy to hang out with Icelander, but you don't want to have to force her. You don't want to have to work for it all the time. She just said no enough times that you've stopped asking, but when she asks you, when she can put you on her timeline, great. Jarl, it's not a no. This dude is weird. Like, always with the armor. He's always in his armor. You have never once seen Jarl not in his armor, and that's weird. But he can put him down, he'll put him back, like, he'll hang out with you. It's just, there's something, it's more than a no, right? But it's just, there's something there. He's difficult. He is, there's a wall there, you know? And it's a lot of work to get him to open up. You really gotta load him up with drinks. And it's just, it's something, Jarl is a no dude, he's just a murderer. I mean, that's assuming I know the lore behind these characters, right? We're just going off vibes. We don't even know if Jarl is just a suit of armor. That's true. He could, I mean, if he's an animated suit of armor, now I'm getting Full Metal Alchemist flashbacks. Now I'm more excited. But I'm going to assume there's a dude under there, and he's just weird. Kano. Kano has to pay. Kano's an asshole, right? Like, just look at the guy. He's always, there's just a smirk. He always thinks he knows better than you. But, like, he's got money, so you can get some top shelf liquor. Like, he's going to buy the nice drinks. Like, you'll get your ciders. You don't have to drink your PBRs or whatever. If he's paying, then yes, I'm there. You also want to go in a group with Kano. Like, if you're one-on-one with Kano, he's just denigrating you the entire time. There's just constant snark. And that isn't great. But, like, if you can get Kano in a group, if Betsy calls you and she's like, we're going drinking tonight, Aurora's going to be there, Dory's DDing, Kano's going to be there. Like, okay, Kano's going to spread the ire a little bit. Like, Kano will put you into the joke, right? Like, he's going to denigrate everyone, but he's an equal opportunist. He's an equal opportunity roaster. And he never goes too far, right? It's just like sometimes you can't deal with it right now. But like, he's not going to go too deep. He's not going to cross the line. But sometimes you just want him to spread it out a little bit, spread the fire. So you got to get him in a group, and he's got to pay. Kasai, she's always got gold. She's always going to pay. There's some daddy issues. There's a little bit of trauma there. And again, I just want to say, Dory, she's sober. Kasai has trauma. Florian, a downer. Like, I'm not saying that these aren't people I want to be friends with. Don't, like, think that, hey, if you in the comments, chat, if you're sober, if you're going through something, like, don't think I'm judging you based on that. This is strictly, would I drink with this hero? If Kasai wants to come over to my house and hang out and like maybe talk through some stuff, yes, I will be there for her. But if she asks me for drinks, she asks me to go out, get some beer in her, and maybe like the feelings start to come out, she's got to be paying. All right, there needs to be some incentive. Kasai has a posse that is always with her. Yeah, but like, they're not with her for her. They're with her for the money. They're just not great people. Katsu. So personally, I'm not 100% with Katsu's vibe. Like, that's just me as a person. He's a bit of a stoner. Like, he's got some weird spiritual stuff going on. Katsu's boring and shows up high and just eats Scoopy snacks. And I'm not saying that's bad, right? It's just he's got to ask me. Like, Katsu's just personally not 100% my vibe. I'm not a big drug guy, not much of a stoner. He's way more spiritual than I am. I'm very, 21st century, like, let's focus on the modern world. So if he calls me, then yeah, like, he's a nice guy. He's always down to listen to your problems. He's very low, very low maintenance, very low stress. He's just not really my cup of tea. Like, I'm not going to him. I don't get home from work and think, well, I'm bored. Like, who can I hang out with? Katsu. Like, no. But I won't say no. KO, armed and dangerous, absolutely not. Like, this goes beyond Fi getting angry, Ira getting angry. Like, KO, both KOs, they are violent drunks. And it does not take very long to set them off, right? Like, half a beer, and they're, like, throwing the glass at the wall. They're going out, they're kicking mailboxes. Like, they're absolutely 100% not. I am not drinking with any KO. They are danger. Exactly. Like, there was a guy I knew in college who had a thing with a girl. Like, it just wasn't going well. She was kind of playing, toying with him a little bit. He was working like 2 jobs. Classes were stressful. He was getting 2 hours of sleep a night. Just like loading up on Red Bulls. And at one point he punched a mailbox and broke his hand. Like, and this is what I expect KO for. And for my buddy, like, he was just going through it. Like, he was not in a good place. This is KO's, like, baseline. This is KO. Things are going great at work. Like, things are going well with his family. And it's still, like, he is any opportunity to break something. Yeah, KO needs to be locked up. 100%. Levia, she's going to have to pay. She's not nearly the same level of violence as KO. She's weird. She's very, punk rock. Very alternative. She's definitely into some weird shit. But if she doesn't bring that baggage with her, she's pretty fun. She's a very unique friend. Like, you don't have any other friends like Levia. She's got stories to tell. Like, she's got her weird hobbies that she's excited to talk about and you're interested in hearing about. But she's going to have to pay. She needs to reach out to me. It's got to be something that she's, like, putting together. She's having, like, a house party. You want her to provide the drinks and the food. She's interesting. She's a carnival ride, right? She's a train wreck. You're interested. You want to know more about it. You can't look away, even if it's horrible. She can act normal, but just don't go back to her place with her for a sacrifice. Like, I'll go to a Levi house party. I know where my exit routes are, and I'm probably leaving early, and probably it's going to be. I will not be letting her know that I am leaving. I will just go. Lexi Livewire. It's in the name, right? She is a live wire. She's fun. She brings in energy. This is the fab content I subscribe for. I was truly interested in playing Living Legend today. Talent Shores down, what can I say? It was either this or Hades 2, and maybe after 23 more heroes, we'll fire it up. Go look at some other good-looking animated people that I would drink with. It's in the name, right? Like, she brings the fun. She is a good time. And I'm reaching out to her. Like, I get home, I'm thinking, I want my Lexi's just Aurora. Basically, yeah, the same vibe, right? Like, energetic, outgoing. If I get home, I'm an introvert by nature. If I want my extrovert friend, if I want someone who's going to draw me out of my shell, we're getting in touch with Lexi. Lyeth Goldbane. All right, we'll do the basic thing. Like, if they paid, Lyeth's rich, daddy's money, Lexi will get you arrested. I don't think Lexi brings that energy. Like, Lexi probably doesn't have boundaries the way that Aurora does. You might need to, like, rein her in a little bit. You're going to need to put in a little more work to keep Lexi in moving forward in a constructive manner than Aurora. But I don't think she's going to get you arrested. She is the wilder sister. Lyeth, yeah, he's got daddy's money. He's rich. He's taking you to, like, the high-end whiskey bars. Like, when you drink with Lyeth, this is like bottle service at the club, high-end whiskey bars, exclusive rooftop bars that you wouldn't be able to get into otherwise. He's got, like, black cards into every establishment. Like, Lyeth is going to show you a good time. But he's a lot. Like, he's your weird little impish devil friend who, like, it's hard to bring girls around him because he's gonna weird them out. Like, you need to know what you're getting into with Lyeth. But if this is purely a transactional relationship, you are getting your money's worth from Lyeth. Marlin Treasure Hunter, I agree that all of the pirates are going to go into the emphatic yes. I am actively interested in drinking with this person. Marlin's got stories. She's adventurous. You aren't going to your neighborhood bar with Marlin. Like, Marlin is not where you're going to just your typical, like, this is where I go every week. You're going to dive bars. You're going to weird places. Marlin is adventurous. She's picking the spot. You aren't even contacting Marlin. Marlin calls you and says, this is where we're going. And that's great. You need that in your life. You need your one adventurous friend who's like, we're hanging out here tonight. Max, he's going to have to reach out to me. Kind of the same thing with Kantu for me. Very punk rock, just not an attitude that I really vibe with or subscribe to. But he's a nice guy. He gets in his cups, like, yeah, you're going to talk a little bit about Marks, but it's not going to be the same as Fi. Like, Fi is just angry about it. Fi is too much. Fi is just going to go off about whichever politician pissed him off that day. Max is more like, he's a little chiller about it. You're talking more about music. Maybe you'll get into politics a little bit, but for the most part, like, he's trying to keep it light. He seems fun until a couple of hours you realize he's been staging a robbery. Max will steal a car with you. Max is your ride or die friend. Like, he is going to be there for you. He's down for whatever. It's just, yeah, he's not, for me personally, I feel like Max can go higher. So I feel like yes, emphatic yes and not emphatic yes kind of vary from person to person. I heard the same thing if you're talking about the 1 to 10 scale on how attractive a person is. 9 and 10 are basically the same. It's just that a 10 is a 9 who has what you personally are interested in. So let's say that you have a blonde and a redhead who are both 9s, but you personally prefer redheads. So you will rate the redheads as a 10 compared to the blonde as a 9, whereas someone who prefers blondes to redheads might switch. I feel like these two categories, just personally based on what you are into. If you're the person who likes day drinking and doesn't really enjoy energetic people as much, you would switch Aurora and Betsy. Max, if you are punk rock, you're down to talk music, you're down to get into a little trouble, Max could definitely be that emphatic yes, but for me, it's just not really who I am as a person, so we'd bump Max down. New. I've been trying to keep this tier list less away from looks, attraction, like new brings an energy where, especially if you're single, like not only is new down to hook up, but if new's in a relationship, if she is unavailable, like new will hook you up. If you're single, new is who you want to know. She's fun to hang out with already. I worry that she will take my kidneys. Okay, like, yes, there is a little knife play involved, but, like, it's fine. Like, new, sometimes you do just like to go to parties with attractive people. And new's got her. She's got all of her friends. And they know how to party. They are down for a good time. So, and this is, either way, like, if you're in a relationship, you're in something committed, you're not available at the time, like, she's still fun to hang out with. But like, if you're single, if you're in a friend with benefit situation, I feel like new or someone she knows has got something for you. Old him, emphatic yes. I don't know how many of you have, like, I have a neighbor, his name is Dean. In his 70s, is very much like a fun grandpa. He's got stories to tell. He's retired, so he doesn't have to wake up the next day. He can throw his money around because he's on his pension. Like, old him, he's fun. He will happy to drive the conversation. Like, you can just sit back. You would 100% steal my girlfriend, and I'm okay with that. I'm trying not to play into stereotypes too much with this list, but like sometimes you do just have your friend with benefits. Sometimes you do have your manic pixie dream girl, drinking buddy, and like I'm fine for new to be that. Old him, you will just sit and listen to for 4 hours. He's always like, he'll get up, he'll top off your drink, this whole night is on him because he's just happy to have someone to talk to. And he, sort of how Gravy always has an interesting story, but like stuff is happening to him. Old him just has 1,000 years of war stories, of people he knew. You sit down with an old him, and he's like, let me tell you about the time that I got drinks with Theodore Roosevelt. And you're like, what? You were alive back then? Like, how old are you? And he just winks at you. Old him's a fun guy. Old him is that safe old guy you can trust even if you barely know him. If you don't have an old friend in your life, I strongly suggest that you get one. Everyone needs an old friend in their life. And you go out and drink with it, like, it's a great time. Olympia, kind of the same tier as Bravo. Like, you're not even sure why he's getting drinks with you. Like, as far as you know, he plays some sort of sport. And that means that he can rage. Like, if he's in the off season or he's on his 2-week break in between games, and like, he'll rage. But it's just, a lot of it's about him and his body and like what he's doing fitness wise. And like, just not sometimes the energy that you want for your night out. He's going to make it all about him and all about like, oh, let me tell you all about the obstacle course I ran the other day. Let me tell you about this fight that I got into. And you're like, all right, buddy, I get, but like, come on, I know I'm an office jockey, but your life isn't any better than mine. You just kind of, he's just a little out of touch with what you're going through, and sometimes you resent him for that. Acilio, in as much as you're not even sure that Acilio can drink, he's going to have to pay. You'll go. You'll go out with Acilio. But he's just a weird dude. And there's like always like he's almost trying to be your dad. Like he's trying to like, not so much. You have to work the next day. Like, don't you have to, how are you getting home after this? And you're like, okay, like, yes, I know I need to work. Yes, I'm going to stop. I already know I'm going to get a ride share. But like, oh my God, like you're not my dad. And I don't need that from you. I'm just trying to. So you need him to pay. You need a little more incentive to go out with Acilio because this is really just not. It's not good. And he doesn't know, and you're afraid to tell him. Acilio would not be a good person to go drinking with, but if he's paying, then I'll say yes. Pleiades, we're going to say yes. She's a literal rock star, right? Like there's an energy here. There is fun here. Interesting stories to tell. She'll bring friends with her that you want to meet. She's got a fun and exciting social group that you want to be a part of. Like you're just happy to be out with Pleiades. And especially if she invites you to go to somewhere that you know. A-list party, tons of networking. You're going to meet rich and famous people. She's literally a star. Like she is an actual superstar. This is like if Taylor Swift invited you to go somewhere, you're going 100%. You will not forget this party. And for her, it's a Tuesday. Like this is just standard for Pleiades. Prism, both prisms. Some of you might disagree with Prism in the emphatic no category. A couple things about Prism. One, super religious, which if that's what you're into, if you can vibe with Prism on a religious level, then more power to you. Personally, I am more agnostic, so I don't really want to hear about her Bible study. And like that's her whole deal. This isn't even like, oh, you can have your religious friend, but you don't get into it. You can have your friend who is maybe on the opposite side of the political spectrum, but you don't get into it. Like, we all understand we are trading card game players. You go to your LGS, religion, politics, kind of the topics that you don't get into because these communities are small enough that if you realize that maybe you and your opponent has pretty drastically different views, and like this is going to tear the group apart, so you just don't go there. But like Prism that's her whole deal. That's who she is as a person. Prism will talk about books the entire time, but like the Bible. I feel like Prism would be a downer for drinking. I mean, I will go to Bible study with her. It's just like it's her whole personality is religion. Prism, but not fun books. You get it. Prism's super uptight, freak behind closed doors. That is my understanding of deeply religious people. Am I allowed to say that? But here's the other thing with Prism. Like, I feel like she is also just secretly evil. She's going to rope you into some stuff that you don't want to be a part of. Like, there's cult is a strong word for what Prism is involved in, but there is a darkness that is hiding behind the ultra religious, and I don't want to be a part of it. Puffin, 100%. I can easily compare Puffin to Lexi and Aurora. Like, they're sisters at this point. They're the three sisters. They're all happy and peppy, just in different ways. Aurora is your super good friend who Prism is 100% in an MLM. Yeah, absolutely. All ally-based heroes are kind of evil. No, Gravy's cool. Don't talk shit about Gravy. Mean girl energy for Prism, yeah, that's a good way to describe it too. Aurora is just your super outgoing friend. She's your best friend. She's super outgoing. She's going to have, introduce you to interesting people. Lexi is kind of more of a manic energy. She needs a little more direction. She can get sort of, she's got a little ADHD, let's be honest. And the drinking sort of, she loses focus at times. You need to keep her a little directed, but she is fun. She's just your drunk friend that you need to like steer home. You need to pull her away from, maybe she's talking to some people that she shouldn't be, or like she's, hey, what if we like broke into a place? Like you can navigate her away from these situations, but it is something you have to babysit her. Puffin she's happy. She's sort of the opposite Florian. Like Puffin is she's very optimistic, always happy to engage with you, ask what you're on about. You think maybe like things aren't always going super well, like you're pretty sure she has some trauma associated with her prosthetic, like maybe everything isn't like a party all the time, but she doesn't get into it, and like, okay, that she's going to bring an energy that you can vibe with, and you will have a good time with Puffin. Like, you want to engage. Sometimes it seems a little frustrating that she doesn't want to go deeper than the surface, but that you will still hang out with her, and you at the end of the night, you're always going to let her know, like, hey, I'm here for you. If you ever want to get into it, I'm here for you. What in the world is this? Well, Lee, Talashar's down, and so it was either this, cancel the stream, or play Hades 2. We only have 12 heroes left. We can certainly, consider that. But this is the tier list. These are the kind of questions, if we run into any of these people in Philly, we want to know what I go drinking with these people. Reinar's going to have to initiate, but I'm going to say yes. Reinar, unlike KO, who is going to go to jail that night, like he will get arrested. I think Florian has some Big Brother Gone Gardener energy. Florian is he's a downer. Like everything's a problem with Florian, to the point where you like wonder if he's forcing it. Like, this isn't even, hey man, maybe some Prozac would help. This is like, you are just looking for the negative, and that's exhausting, but you do want to be there for your friend. I just arrived, but I would pick Phi for a football tournament where I want to win. He may get a red card here and there, but the other team will fear him. But do you want to go drinking with that? This is specifically what I drink with this hero. Lupine playing video games, play Battlefield. I'm not an FPS guy. So, Reinar. KO will get arrested tonight, right? Like, he is going to jail. He's a violent person who's looking for an excuse. Reinar kind of matured out of it. Like, there is a darkness to Reinar. There is a side where you think he could see red. Like, he walks in, bumps into somebody at the bar. They give him the, like, excuse you. And you're like, hey, man, let's just go get it, have our seat. Like, Reinar's not looking for a fight. Reinar won't start a fight, maybe with a little guidance, but he will finish the fight. He's your big friend who is not a puppy dog, but he's matured out of his, like, angry, let's get into bar fights phase of life. He's got stories to tell. He's very supportive. He's sturdy, right? That is a great way to describe Reinar. He is sturdy. And you just need a friend like that. You need your big friend who, Reinar is Jason Momoa. I think probably a little more violent than Jason Momoa. I think Jason seems chiller than Reinar does. But yeah, Reinar does give off that energy of, like, he's your rock. He'll listen to you. He's going to give advice. It's very soft-spoken. Like, he doesn't say a lot. But you don't always need that. Riptide, I mean, the dude just needs a shower. Like, let's be honest. It doesn't matter. You're not going to hang out with Riptide, period. It doesn't matter where you're going with Riptide. Dude stinks. Like, there's a hygiene issue to the point where you're wondering if he should even see a medical professional about that. Like, I don't care how open-minded you are as a person. When there's a stink factor like that, you just can't. Like, he needs to take care of himself before he can take care of your friendship. His bottom three, that stank, absolutely. Jason's character from Game of Thrones. Khal Drogo, sure. I could see that, yeah, man a few words, but like, man a few words is not looking for a fight, doesn't take disrespect, will definitely end the fight. Riptide, yeah, bottom, you just can't with Riptide. There is a smell factor, not something you can put up with. You want to give him a shot. You think maybe he's going through something, like maybe he does need a friend, but it can't be you. Bolton. We're gonna put Bolton in the same if I'm lonely category. Hold on, chat. Give me 1 minute. I know many of you disappeared. Hopefully you all had an ad blocker. Bolton, we're gonna put him a step above Prism. He's very religious, very hung up on his wife. Like you, let's put him even if they pay. Bolton's a nice guy. You like Bolton. Bolton, you need to get away from him before he gets too deep in the cups. Like he's gonna talk about his ex for sure. Like he can hide it better. And like a Prism, he's not gonna go off about his religion. If you're interested, he will happily engage with you. If you just have a question, hey man, like I heard about X story from the Bible the other day, like, or hey, like I think, like, do you ever think about the hypocrisy in this aspect of your religion? Like, he'll get into it. He's not going to preach about it. It's not going to be a whole sermon. But he's, genuinely believes, wants to answer your question, but it's not his whole deal. He can definitely put it back. Like, man can hold his liquor. But you know that when he reaches a certain point of drunkenness, he will only talk about his ex. Like, that now becomes his whole thing. And that's not something that you're interested in. So you do need to cut it off at a certain point. Bolton is a crier when he drinks, but to a certain point, like maybe 4 drinks in, is when he starts to really lose control, and that's when you need to excuse yourself. But you know this about him. It's a constant thing with Bolton. So let's even, you know what? The more I talk about Bolton, the more that I feel comfortable getting a drink with him. I need to set it up though. We're not moving him higher we're not moving him to an emphatic yes. If he invites me somewhere, that's bad for me because it's gonna be an intimate setting. Like, this is his house, and I'm gonna need him to. I need a way out. If it's his house, I'm stuck there until he decides I can leave. We are going to cry about his ex. His reviews are kind of lore inaccurate. For one thing, you assume that I know the lore. For another thing, his dead wife and his ex, like that's the same thing. Your dead spouse is your ex. Okay? And he's gonna cry about his ex. I need an escape route. And if I invite him to a bar, I can set the time. I have the setting. I can invite him out. We meet up at 8. Hey man, it's 10. Like, I need to go. I got work in the morning, so I have to go to sleep. You have that way out. And you know when he's on 3 drinks. That's when you need to start looking for the way out. Teklavausen, dude is rich. I can only put Teklavausen. Okay, there we go. He's We're going to rearrange the tiers, within the tiers soon, but come on. Do you want to get a drink with Elon Musk? No, but he's rich. Getting a drink with Teklavausen is like getting a drink with the worst person you know on their spaceship. Like, getting a drink with Teklavausen is getting a drink with someone who actively wants to destroy the world, but but you are in a volcano. You're not going to say no to that. Do you like Teklevasin? No. Do you agree with Teklevasin's goals and aspirations and political philosophy? Of course not. Do you want to see inside Teklevasin's cryo chamber that rejuvenates him to the point where he's hundreds of years old but looks 45? Yeah, absolutely. You are going to, the things you will experience with Teklevasin are things that no one has experienced before or ever will again. You are going to see the core of the earth with Teklevasin. He can take you on his elevator up to heaven. The man has more money than Jesus. You are going to get unique, once-in-a-lifetime experiences with Teklevasin. And you're not going to say no to that, despite him being the worst person you know. Tough Nut, yes, I will 100% reach out to Tough Nut. He's a teddy bear. Like, this dude is just fun. He is a good time. Not the brightest bulb in the bunch. I don't need to have a deep philosophical conversation with Tough Nut over drinks. Tough Nut's my guy. We're gonna go to a football game and drink. We're gonna go to a soccer game and drink. We're gonna go day drinking. Like, he's down to clown. Jesus, a famously rich person. Well, he's the son of God. He can have whatever he wants, right? Like, I don't know. Tough Nut's gonna be a good time, right? You want to go drinking with Tough Nut. He's a bumlet, like, you need to maybe, like, he's gonna crash into something, he's gonna break something, you have to, like, apologize after, but, like, Tough Nut's a good guy to go drinking with. Uzuri, I'm gonna say yes. Contrary to the Arachnes, if we're thinking about assassins and when I want to go drinking with assassins, contrary to the Arachnes, Uzuri just brings a gravitas. She is experienced. She is world-wise. She has seen things. She has matured to the point where I'm not worried that she's going to spike my drink. I'm not worried that she's going to get weird and bring an energy that I don't like. She is a good time. She's sort of in the way that Oldhim, like, always has a story, is always ready to give advice, is always ready to just talk for as long as you'll let him. I feel like that's Uzuri. She brings a maturity where she's seen things, she has interesting stories to tell. She offers a unique perspective. If you come to her and, like, hey, you feel like maybe your boss has been passing you for a promotion or your love life isn't going great, like, Uzuri will give you very mature, good advice that you're not going to get from anywhere else because she has seen things. She knows the world in a way that no one else does. And that is the sort of person, she's a mature big sister, exactly. And that is the sort of person that I'm going to reach out to go drinking with. Valda, I feel the same way about Valda. Mature big sister, kind of in a different way than Uzuri. No, Valda definitely traverses some alternate paths. Uzuri's maybe, friends in low places. I think Valda is a little more rough and tumble than that. Definitely, she's your climbing friend, your hiking friend. She goes out into the wilderness. If you want to go hiking, if you want something outdoorsy, like, Valda's your person. Valda doesn't drink with you because she's running the bar. I could see Valda as, like, I could see Valda owning a bar and, like, you're drinking at her bar. So maybe she is a little distracted. She's tending bar. She can't just be there for you, but she's your bartender who Valda outdrinks everyone at the bar. Well, it's her bar. Valda is female Reinar with a smile. I don't know that I'd say that. I think Valda has less of a intimidating energy to her. Like, Reinar is intimidating. I think Valda she's domineering, we'll say. If you wanted to use one word to describe the two of them, intimidating versus, dominating. But Valda brings that mature big sister, right? She has advice for you. She's world-wise. She's seen things. Yes, Valda running the bar makes a lot of sense. She's the bartender, but she's your bartender, right? Like, whenever she's not tending bar, whenever she's not, like, having to attend to other people, she's there, she's leaning over the bar opposite you, she's listening to you, she's giving you advice. And that's just really nice. Like, you're excited to go to Volva's bar. That's the smile charm. Yeah. Verdance. Oh, Verdance is a weird one because I feel like we gave Katsu the kind of like stoner hippy dippy vibe, and that's not really my thing, but yeah, I would still go drinking with him. Verdance. Verdance is just, it's too much her thing. She's too crunchy for me personally. I'm not a fan. My son is around. I'm not a big fan of crunchy hippies, right? Like, I don't, like, she won't go to an establishment. It can only be a park. It can be a beer garden. Like, she only drinks at vegan bars. She's got to be able to touch grass. Not like touch grass, but like, she will not go to an establishment with a floor. It has to be open ground. So like outdoor bars. She'll drink in parks. She'll drink on camping trips. Feels like an annoying teen to me. Sits down at his desk and looks up. John, what in the world is this? Talisher is down, Nick. We have to fill time. I promised to stream and I'll give it. Verdance is annoying teen. I can get that. Like, she's very naive, which I think is canonically true. She's just like this. You're babysitting her. You can't really enjoy the experience because it's now all about her. It's like, how's her life going? What weird thing does she know? What did she experience that now you need to talk her through? And again, the whole hippy-dippy crunchiness of it. Like, she's your friend that now you're having to talk to her about, like, well, she won't eat processed food because of the chemtrails. And you're like, what are you talking about? Like, it's not full-on conspiracy theorist, but, like, trending that way. She's definitely too deep in YouTube. And you're having to talk her off of certain things. It's just, you don't want to engage with this. You know what? The more I talk about it, she's better than nothing. Like, at minimum, she will kill a few hours with you, but, like, she's just trending towards an energy that you don't want in your life. You don't want to be a part of this. Victor Goldmane, emphatic no. So, Lyeth, he'll pay for your drinks. He'll show you really interesting experiences. He's this weird ball of chaotic energy, but he can at least be entertaining. Victor's just a dick. Like, you know, referencing Lyeth, Victor has daddy's money, but he's a dick about it. Referencing Kano. Kano is gonna, you can't enjoy Kano in one-on-one. You need a group. You need him to really, like, go broad with his insults, but he's not cutting to the quick. He's really not, like, trying to hurt. It's just him being kind of rude and snarky. That's his love language. Victor's a dick. Victor, you go out for drinks with Victor. He buys you his drink, sure. Or buys you your drink, sure. He sits down with you and immediately is like, so why are you still working that shitty job? So why can't you find a girlfriend yet? So why are you still poor? And you're like, you are already fed up with this guy. Victor's the high school quarterback. Everyone loves him and he buys drinks for everyone. I would say that everyone loved Victor. Victor is he is the guy who peaked in high school. He's 35 and he's still talking about the big game from when you were 16. And you're like, my guy, what are we doing here? But then he's rude. He's a dick. Like, he only talks about himself and he lives in the past. There's nothing that you want to do with Victor. Him buying your drinks is not even a reason to go out with Victor because he's just that much of a dick. Viserai, I gotta be real, I don't know enough about Viserai even from the lore, but just on vibes, he's better than nothing, but he's your weird edgy friend who is always just on one, right? He's going to talk about whatever weird book he's reading. He's going to talk about this weird music that he's, whatever album. He's a raver. That's a better way to put it. And when you describe him as a raver, I still put him in If I Was Lonely, because I am not a raver. He's not harmful. He's not actively harmful. He's just not. He's hard to pin down, Matt. And I agree with you, Matt. He's hard to pin down. I want to say no, because I can't get a good read on the guy, but I feel like no. Man of many actions but few words. This is just, it's a weird one. I wish I had the words to contextualize why I won't get drinks with Viscerai unless I'm lonely. If you're into that, then cool. I think that's it. He's such an enigma to me. Not this enigma. He's such a mystery to me that I just can't put into words why I'm feeling the way I feel about this. What is this tier list about? This tier list is what I drink with this hero. So, and it can be, I feel like I've been contextualizing all of this as like a bar setting, but this could be anything. This is like house party, day drinking, bar, brewery, club. And like out in a park or out hiking somewhere and they pull out a flask. Like, would I engage with this hero in an alcoholic situation? And I'm saying this is better than nothing. If I'm lonely, I'll reach out to this. But that's the best I can do, and I can't contextualize why I feel that way. So I'm just gonna move on. Vincent, I will say no. This is probably the most polarizing hero. Again, just who I am as a person, I'm gonna say no. But if you are a different sort of person, if you are more alternative than I am, if you run in different circles than I do, you could absolutely put Vincent in yes. Like Vincent, I think getting past the rough exterior of like, is there a self-harm thing going on here? Like, is she a little too intense? Like, what's going on with Vin? If you can get past that, there's maybe there's a tenderness, there's a vulnerability that if you can get past Vincent's like almost metallic exterior, then there's really something there that you can connect with and that is very appealing. But that's not who I am. I don't run in the same circles as Vincent. We run in different scenes. So I think weirdly she is the most polarizing hero, because if you're listening to this and you're like, well, I do run in those circles, I do run in those scenes, and I do enjoy a challenge to get to know someone. Yeah, Vincent, you crack that exterior, you will never have a better friend than Vincent. I personally am not willing to do that work and don't run in those circles. So I am going to put her in no. But if you put her in yes, I mean, more power to you. Absolutely. Finally, Zen. Zen is a weird one. I'm going to say yes, but only in a setting where I get to spend time with his cats. You know I love cats. I have 2 cats. They're my children. I love them so much. But it's only about his cats, because I feel like when you remove the cats, he is like, what's the best way for me to put this? He is like aggressively vegan. He's like aggressively crunchy. If we put Verdance down into If I Was Lonely, because of her sort of like crunchy hippy dippy attitude, she's a little like, you know, free spirited, a little like, oh, you know, whatever you believe in, as long as you believe in this. Zen is like, this is the way. This is how you need to live your life. He's just very militaristic. That's the way. That's the word I'm looking for. He is militaristically crunchy. And that is a bad energy to bring to drinking. There's an intensity that no matter how drunk he gets, he will always be like, this is the way it has to be. My way or no way. But he has cats, and I love cats. And if we can get him talking about his cats and not so much on like his stance on life, then we're getting somewhere. That is an energy. His chill, big bro energy. He's wise. He seems to have very balanced, funny after. I disagree. I don't think he's chill about it. I think he's very much like, this is the way it has to be. But he has cats, and I'm going to give it to him because of the cats. So this is the objectively correct rankings of each individual hero. I'm very, very briefly going back over to Talishar. It's still down. And you all demand content. Zen is like a monk dude. He's into very free will and doing your thing. I don't think so. I think he's very regimented. I think, like, you don't get a body like Zen's if you aren't 100% committed all the time. You're not conjuring cats out of the ether if you're not 100% committed. He's a Buddhist monk. I disagree. One, I don't think there's Buddhism in Wraith because it's not our world. Two, like, there is no way that this dude is a pacifist. Hold on. Speaking of cats, my sweet baby boy wanted to leave the room and my door was closed. All right, well, I've only been streaming for an hour and 20 minutes, and you've all been promised 2 hours, so the gods demand content. Let's go ahead and further rank these into a rank. Let's rank them within their individual tiers. So, starting at the emphatic yes. He has that body from spending 10 hours a day holding himself with one arm, thinking deep thoughts. You're going to tell me that is an extreme? And you're going to tell me he's not going to preach to me about that? Absolutely not. I disagree. So, within our emphatic yes tier, if we now need to rank our friends, as we all do, we rank our friends. Who am I most excited to get drinks with? And again, we're just broadening this to bar, club, pub, brewery, day drinking, home drinking, outside drinking. I think we do need to really focus more on the positive vibes. Zen is 100% bottom tier for all the reasons that I've stated. He's got cats and that's about it. But I really love his cats. I'm going to say we're going to put Azalea at the top. All three pilots first, disagree. And I'll tell you why. I'm going to put Azalea first because she is my real, one-on-one intimate relationship friend. We're having deep talks. And I think she is unique among the emphatic yes category for just being someone she's the only introvert. I get that. That's the best way to put it. She's the only introvert in this tier. And that's who I'm really vibing with. That is who I want. She's my ride or die. I had a good day and I want to share it with someone. I had a bad day and I want to share it with someone. Azalea is going to be there for all of that. She is unique in this. So we're going to put her at the top of emphatic yes. But moving down from there, she would dominate the conversation. But I feel like there are going to be times where she dominates the conversation. And then there are also going to be times where she is happy to just sit back and do nothing. And I like that she has both of that sort of energy. There are going to be times where she's really, if I had to describe it in flesh and blood terms, there are going to be times where she, pump, 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 arrow, and then there are only going to be times where she has pump, 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 and then does nothing. And she, is unique in that. But once we move away from that, we're going to start judging, my personal preferences. I value, as I am aging, I'm 35 now. To plan her hero ability. No, I got it. I understand. As I am maturing and growing older, I'm 35 now, practically ancient within the flesh and blood scene. I find that I am moving away from my outgoing friends, moving away from that big club energy, and moving into a day drinking, just very chill house party energy. And so I'm going to move up my choices based on that. So we've got Oldhim coming in second, Uzuri and Valda, the maturity that these three bring to the experience is something that I value quite a lot as I grow older. 35 is ancient, I know. As I'm talking with people, pro players who are like, Peter Budensick is like 25. It's wild. So we've got our 3 mature heroes here. After that, I think I do want to... we're going to bump up sort of these 3 that I talked about as being the sort of outgoing manic sisters. Aurora. Lexi is definitely the manic pixie dream girl, and she needs a little direction. As I've said, like fun, outgoing, but can be a little ditzy at times, and maybe needs to be steered a bit. We'll move Puffin above Lexi. Puffin is just always optimistic all the time, and you're a little concerned about it. You think maybe there's some trauma hiding under the surface. You really want Puffin to open up to you, and you really want to be there for when she does. And then Aurora, of course, sort of a balance between the two. Fun, outgoing, life of the party. It's definitely steering the night, and you're fine with that. But can also, is not afraid to have those deep conversations at times. Dash.io, weirdly, the more I think about Dash.io, the more I actually do want to bump her down to she has to initiate. She's just, if we're talking about me getting older and wanting to focus more on mature energy, Dash is a zoomer. Like, Dash is showing up with, like, whatever weird flavored vodka she bought that day. And I feel like I'm too old to really be taking shots of vanilla vodka, So we're going to bump Dash down, and we'll get to her soon. Following the Manic Pixie Sisters, I'm going to put Pleiades. Pleiades and Gravy, I think, occupy the same category, just in different ways, where they are both this experience. Like Gravy Bones, as I've said, he is the lore behind Gravy. Gravy is always up to something. In the week since you've seen Gravy, he's moved jobs twice and been promoted in both of them. Like something, Gravy's always on something. He's put together, he's taking care of himself, he's paying his rent or his mortgage, whatever's going on with Gravy. But you meet up with Gravy and you always learn something new about him. He always has lore. But I do put him below Pleiades, a literal superstar. She's fun to hang out with. She's very outgoing, very interested in you. And you're going to meet famous people wherever you go. If she's hosting the party, it is going to be a time, right? She's Taylor Swift. Let's put New after Marlon. As I've said, New is the only one here where she's your friend with benefits. I think it's important that we have a friend with benefits in the emphatic yes. Even if either one of you is in a situation where you can't really explore those benefits, she's still, like, there is a friendship there. It is equal part friend and benefits. There's also just, it's a fun, flirty energy, and I really appreciate that in any sort of social situation. Gravy always makes up some yarn. He's not making it up, though. That's just his life. Instead of inserting them into our world, you should insert yourself into Wraith and their world. If I was inserted into Wraith, I would just die. Like, I would have been eaten by a demon long ago. Lies all the time, but it's good since it's fine. I don't think Gravy's lying. I think that's just who Gravy is. Between Marlon and Tough Nut, I'm going to have Marlon first. I think Tough Nut, he's your goofy sidekick whenever you go drinking, but sometimes you don't want to have to lead the night, and Tough Nut is really asking you to do that. Marlon is more, she's adventurous, she's outgoing. That's a fun energy to have for a night out. And then, as I've said, Zen is this militaristic, crunchy monk, but he does have cats, and we love cats. So moving down to the yes, they must initiate tier. These are your friends who you actively enjoy drinking with, but they're not necessarily the people that you're reaching out to. If you hear from them, then you're interested. That's going to be a good time. You could be Metrix's best accountant. It's possible. This also requires me to know much more lore than I actually do. Between our friends who they would need to reach out to us, but when they do, we are incredibly interested. I am leaving Betsy top of the list. Betsy is always going to put together the best pub crawls and the best Super Bowl parties, but Betsy's not a good one-on-one, and you don't want to have to organize a party that Betsy is at, because Betsy is definitely going to take over. She's going to bring a bunch of friends that you don't know. She's going to bring an energy that doesn't fit the vibe. But if Betsy is setting it up, you know it's going to be a great time. Moving away from Betsy, we've got Briar here. Briar is Aurora's best friend that you don't know super well. And you think maybe you don't have very much in common, but if she's reaching out to you, you feel just honored that she is interested in being your friend. We're going to leave her number 2. Syndra brings an energy that is sometimes best described as intense. Doesn't always fit the vibe. I'm going to move her down for now. And I don't know that she's going to stay this low. She's definitely above Zoomer Dio. But we're going to move her towards the end. And since we're here, I'm actually going to... Briar and Aurora are roommates. That is a good way to describe it, actually. They're the... Do you know the meme where it's the two sisters in a car together? One of them has rainbow hair and one of them has black hair. And, like, that's the joke, is that the two of them are, like, very different people. They're opposites, but they're, you know, together. I feel like that's Briar and Aurora. Briar should go up. She's mature and have good conversations, and you end up liking her more than Aurora. She brings a different energy than Aurora, but you don't know her super well. Yet you need to get to know Briar before you will initiate with her. She's a little mysterious. Tells her being down is causing people to do crazy things. Taylor, this is the sort of content that we need more of in Flesh and Blood. What do you want me to do? Play Living Legend, get blown up by Zen in 3 turns on Viscera, and talk about how imbalanced the format is? I already have 16 minutes or whatever of ranting yesterday. This is the fun content that we need more of in Fab. We're going to move Bolton up under Briar. Like I said, Bolton is a great time. He's worldly. He's very knowledgeable about certain subjects. He's always happy to talk politics and religion, but only as much as you want to. He understands that his views are polarizing, and he's very set in his beliefs. He's not going to force that on you, though. So he will engage as much as you want to engage, but then he's happy to pull back, talk about sports or, you know, your hobbies or whatever. The thing with Bolton, you gotta be ready to leave after 3 drinks, because when he gets too deep into it, he's just going to cry about his ex. You need an escape route. What does Ichiro eat for dinner? I actually, now that I know that this is a fallback plan for whenever Talishar is down, I am going to need to come up with some more tier lists. Following Bolton, we're going to move up Enigma. You got to be careful if you get Bolton too drunk, he'll just cry about Irina. Exactly. Reinar is a big steak guy. I think Reinar's going to move up from where he is. I just want to establish the rest of the tier list first. Enigma is not someone that you have a ton in common with. She's kind of like your Briar. So Briar is your best friend Aurora's roommate, who you're just getting to know and you don't super feel comfortable initiating with yet. Enigma is a friend of yours from college who you just feel very lukewarm about. She's not your best friend, but she is a friend. You're happy to hang out with her, but she isn't your top priority. She's never someone that you're reaching out to, but when she reaches out to you, can you do a tier list of tier list ideas? Well, I'm going to need to source some tier list ideas. Taylor, if you just want to start listing some in chat, you know, I'll save those for a rainy day. Enigma, she's your secondary friend. She isn't your bestie, but she exists in that tier of friends that you're happy to have, that you always have something to talk about, that you're always excited to see, but that you're never going to initiate with. Can you do a tier list of each Breakpoints episode? Well, that would require me to watch Flesh and Blood content, which is not something I do. It's not a diss on Breakpoints. I don't watch any other Flesh and Blood content because I'm too busy making it. Enigma, as someone said, also brings homemade sake, which is pretty cool. Like, she's got her own interesting life going on. Enigma is the B story to your A story. If your life is a television show, Enigma is the totally separate story going on in the background of your story that you will only ever find out about at the end. You've got your whole life going on. You're focused on your relationship or your job or whatever wacky hijink is really dominating the show that week. Meanwhile, Enigma is off. She's at the DMV because she has to renew her license, and she's having to deal with a snarky state worker behind the desk. Enigma's like wife material. I'll have you know Aurora is like wife material, okay? Now I am talking about the game of Flesh and Blood. How dare you? And at the end of the day, Enigma will reach out. She'll initiate with you, and you'll get drinks. And that's when you'll find out whatever she's been on that day. And it's interesting and it's exciting, but you had no idea. And honestly, you're okay with that. Dash IE. I don't have a reason to dislike Dash IE. And I am going to go drinking with Dash. But for whatever reason, I'm just going to put her low. I don't know. It's sort of like this being in the if I was lonely tier. I can't tell you why Dash is low on my list, but she is. You'd marry Enigma? I mean, I could see it. You're right. I shouldn't take such umbrage at the term wife material. Enigma is wife material. A lot of these heroes are wife material. I probably, if I'm thinking about my ideal partner, probably wouldn't be Aurora. I think Aurora is too outgoing to be wife material. That's the next tier list. Would I marry this hero? And the next tier list is going to be fuck, marry, kill. But with every Flesh and Blood hero. Oh my god, the conversations, the controversy that we will generate by determining which heroes we would fuck, marry, kill is, I'm going to have to bring in panelists for that one, I think. Taylor, let me know. Do you want to be a part of the Fuck, Marry, Kill tier list? And who else should we bring in for that stream? Because we're cooking on that. Is that going to be, okay, it's the New Year's tier list. It's the end of the year. We can do the Fab retrospective and then the Fuck, Marry, Kill tier list to ring in 2026. That's it. Okay. I'll start planning that. Icelander, as I said, the only joke I have for Icelander, right, is that she's a cool person to hang out with. She's just a little cold sometimes. Icelander's gonna probably bump down one below Katsu. I think this is this is my meat and potatoes, John, please. I think oh no, we lost a number of viewers for the Fuck, Marry, Kill tier list. You'll be back. Chat, no. Icelander is where she is. You want Icelander to be in the emphatic yes tier. The reason that Icelander is where she is too many times you have invited her to get drinks and she said no. She's your friend who you want to hang out with, want to come on a Breakpoints podcast and do this. We can all drink and do the Fuck, Marry, Kill tier list. Taylor, yes. That's my emphatic yes. I will happily put me on Breakpoints. We will do the Fuck, Marry, Kill end of the year tier list. We'll get drunk and do it. I am so down. Icelander, how many times have you invited your friend for drinks, to a party, out to dinner, whatever, and they just either say yes in the moment and then cancel later, or say no, and the reasons are always believable, right? It's always like, I have an early morning the next day, or I just don't feel like it tonight, or I had a hard day at work and I just need some time to unwind. Like, whatever the reason, it's all good. You don't hold it against them. But you're just tired of them saying no. And so you stop asking. And like, it happens all the time. You like Icelander. You want to see more of Icelander, but she's just, it's not something that you want to have to work for. So we're putting her below Katsu. Katsu, I liked him where he is. Stoner vibe, very spiritual, fun to be with, always supportive of what you're into. Just not my vibe personally. Max is the same way. Punk rock, alternative scene. Always happy to be a part of it. He's going to support you. He's down for whatever. Just not my general vibe. Reinar. I have a literal headcanon book for Katsu and you skipped him? I just talked about him right now. Reinar, dark past. He's moved beyond it. You think maybe he's always like a hair trigger away from killing someone in a bar, but for the most part, he's just chill. And then, yeah, we've got Syndra, -IE, -IO. I feel good about that. If they paid. This is your tier list of friends. Katsu has kids in every region. He is a wanderer. If they paid is your tier list of friends who they're a lot. And you won't say no to drinks, but not only do they have to initiate, they need to incentivize by paying. I'm going to move Bravo, Starvo, and Olympia higher towards the top of the list. The reason these three are here is that they're always drinking like Michelob Light. It's always some weird, like, are you even drinking? Like, why are you even here? Are you sure this isn't fucking with your macros? They're going to talk about themselves. They're going to talk about whatever extreme sport they're into that week. You know, the Starvo, the Bravos are lifting weights. Olympia's on American Ninja Warrior. And, like, it's interesting, but they don't care what you're... They just... Honestly, you could be anyone. They just need someone to talk at so that they aren't at home talking to themselves. And it's fine. It isn't uninteresting, but you need them to be paying. The two Arachnes. We can leave here. I'll probably bump them down just by virtue of moving other heroes up. They're just chaotic weirdos. And you're never really interested in that energy. They're nice enough constructs. They're nice enough people that you'll spend the time. But you need a little extra incentive. They mix protein powder in their Bud Light. Exactly. Now you're getting it. I'm going to move Teklevasin and Lyeth up to the top of the tier list, because they perfectly embody what this tier list is. Teklevasin is this scheming, evil, maniacal authoritarian who is going to destroy the world. But he has awesome drinks, and you're going to drink them in his spaceship. Like, if you want to drink 100-year-old whiskey at the bottom of a volcano, Teklevasin's your guy, because he is the hookup for that. Lyeth is throwing daddy's money around. These are extravagant parties, A-list guests. You're happy to be a part of it. But, like, Lyeth is going to kill someone by the end of the night. Like, Lyeth has brought in a person experiencing homelessness to let loose in a hedge maze so that you can all hunt them. And by that time, you're gone. You have left the party. You don't want to be around for that. But for the first 2 hours before it went eyes wide shut, this was great. You really enjoyed being there. And I feel like that's the embodiment of the if they paid tier. We're going to move Florian above the Arachnes. Above the Arachnes, but below Bravos and Olympia. Florian is it's always just a downer. Like, he's going to bring your night down. You want to be there for him, but at a certain point, you think he's just doing this for the drama. Kano. I'm moving Kano past the jocks. Kano's fun to hang out with. It just can't be a one-on-one situation because it's so snarky. Like, he's just so up his own ass with the snark. It's never mean-spirited, but it needs to be dispersed. When Betsy invites Kano to a party and Kano can, like, mingle and just roast people, sort of equal opportunity, and get everyone else in on the joke, he's a great time. But if it's just you, he's only going to make you feel bad about yourself. We're going to leave Acilio down at the bottom of the tier. He's just your dad, and you didn't ask him to be your dad. Kasai, I'll move above the Arachnes. There's just an anger here. She always hangs out with this crowd that's clearly just into her for her money. You really need her to go to therapy more than go drinking. And Lavia, I'm going to leave where she is. Just not really my scene. I could see other people putting her up a tier. She's very alternative. She's just not so much my personal taste. If I was lonely, this is a tier of people that you are happy to hang out with in other situations. These are your real life friends, but they don't make for great drinking partners. But if you really just don't want to be alone that night, these are the 5 that you'll reach out to. Dorinthia is sober, so it's weird that you're going drinking with her. She's better in a group. If she gets invited to a party by Betsy, then you know you can really cut loose that night. She's not going to judge you for drinking. It's just not something that it's not something she does. So it just is kind of weird that you're going drinking with her, honestly. Like, she's babysitting you at this point. But if you're lonely, maybe you just need that. Fang, there's an intensity here that I don't love being at the party, but I feel like he isn't just so overtly violent and anarchist as Phi. So we're going to keep him in the if I was lonely tier. Jarl's just a weird dude. There's not so much of the violence that you get from a KO or an RKO, but it's just like, I hate to keep describing this all as weird, but he's just, Jarl doesn't bring an energy that is good for but he's not as overtly violent as KO. You're more interested in Jarl than anything else. You've never seen him out of the armor. He's a mystery. Verdance, I'm going to move Fang down because I can't really quantify why I don't want to get drinks with him so much. I'm going to move Verdance up. She's not really overt. Jarl is ultra-violence incarnate. No, those are the KOs. Jarl is just intense. Verdance, you don't really dislike Verdance, and you know that you're going to like Verdance a lot more when Fang is not anarchist, he wants to revenge his emperor. That's in lore. This is in real life. Unless you're saying that Fang is I don't know, right-leaning. I mean, if he's pro-emperor, that means he's pro-authoritarian. And if he's moving, the further he moves to the right, the more I want to move him down. You know what? Tobias, you just did this. I hope you wanted Fang down here, because he's a no now. Verdance, you're keeping Verdance. We're even going to bump her above Dory. Verdance is going to be a lot more fun when she gets 5 years older. She's a zoomer. You really just need her frontal lobe to finish developing. He said as much too. Def missed the mark on Jarl. It's possible. It's possible. When Verdance's frontal lobe finishes developing... Yay. You're welcome. When Verdance's frontal lobe finishes developing, she's going to be a lot more fun to hang out with. You just need her to lose some of that naivete. But you want to maintain that friendship, because you're you're invested in Verdance at this point. You're trying to steer her towards a better future, towards being someone that you could move up into yes or emphatic yes. But for right now, she's just exhausting. So you're happy to let time run its course before you really start to invest more energy in her. And then Viserai, again, I just can't quantify why I feel so poorly about Viserai. He's not a no, but he's not higher up. And I just can't put it into words. The no tier, we're just going to shit talk these heroes. Arachne Huntsman will actively spike your drink. This is canonically accurate. Look at Vipox. Chain is just a weird dude. You think he's got a history where he probably killed someone. He doesn't wear a shirt. You don't want to hang out with someone who doesn't wear a shirt. But we'll move him up as far as definitely a murderer. Huntsman can stay here as probably a murderer. You just can't prove it, you know? You weren't there for regicide, so you can't prove it. You just think you know that they would spike a drink. Dromai and Fang are just, they're very right-leaning. They're very pro-establishment, which is not something you vibe with. These were two that you knew. Dromai you knew in high school as a mean girl. You just didn't get along with her at all. and she has not gotten better. Fang is a little more chaotic energy than Dromai brings, but still the same way. Did like him then, still don't like him now. Phi, you want to like, and we're going to move Phi up as far as the top of No. I guess I should be organizing these heroes such that the further down they get, the more No they are. We'll put the literal murderer at the bottom of No. Phi is the top of No. You want to like Phi. It's just he's always like hair trigger away from really getting into a rant. And you don't want that. That isn't an energy you want to bring. Ira, again, she just needs therapy. We'll move her here. She needs therapy more than anything else. KO and RKO, we're going to move them still above the literal murderer, but these two are violent when they're sober, and they're definitely violent in real life. The two prisms, being religious, definitely less of a crime than being a murderer. We're going to move them up still. Being religious is their whole personality, and I don't want to go drinking with someone like that. Riptide will move up just by virtue of not being a terrible person, but the stank. You can't move past the stank. Victor, if I was a cool middle school friend and then he saw some shit and did some stuff, absolutely. Victor, we're going to move past the two with religion as their whole personality, but he's just a dick. Like, he really, and being a dick isn't a crime, but it isn't someone that you want to spend time with. Like, where Lyeth can at least be fun until, like, the sadism comes out, Victor just starts off rude. Riptide doesn't like cats, though. Boom. Like, Lyeth can be entertaining until the sadism comes out. Kano is... he will mock you, but he's at least like it's fun. And you can get in on the joke, even if it stings at the time. Victor's just gonna, like, bully you. Victor's just mean. Vincent, I will move up to the top of No. As I said, she personally isn't my vibe. I don't run with the alternative scene. I'm not a goth. I'm more open and vulnerable than she is. There's a wall there. But if you run in that kind of circle, if you're willing to put in the work to get past that Iron Maiden, then you could definitely put Vincent in yes. Just not my personal scene. And then we've talked about the KOs, Chain, and Riptide. So this is the definitive tier list of would I drink with this hero. I believe at this point, I can check, I believe that Talishar is back. No. Really, I just checked the Talishar Discord. And I thought, I figured that people were playing. But maybe not. I don't know. I will have to look into this. But many of you have disappeared, so I assume that Talishar is back in some regard. I will put this tier list up online so that you can all reference it later. I'm just going to stop streaming now. I've been streaming for almost 2 hours, which is about an hour and 55 minutes more than I thought that I would stream when I learned that Talishar was offline. So I hope you have all enjoyed this interesting tier list experience. Do I want to do more of this in the future? Yes, I will definitely advertise it as such, so that I don't bait you all into watching Living Legend content, only to find that I am saying that Azalea is a better drinking partner than Betsy is. But for those of you who did hang out, Lupan, I am in need some cards. Where can I get them? Well, you can get them from Hammurabi TCG. If you are in need of any Flesh and Blood singles, class sets, or full sets, then Hamel over at Hammurabi TCG is your best bet. He's the best deals on Super Slam singles, any singles from any set. He ships internationally and domestically. Thank you, Coffee King Riff, for enabling me to shout out Hammurabi TCG. If you want to make your very own tier list, head over to fablazing.com. This is where I come for all of my data about Talishar, the paper meta, for Living Legend, and Classic Constructed. I don't think that they do Silver Age yet. I have to imagine that is coming. Where do I find... Yeah, they don't. Sadly, they don't do Silver Age yet. But if you want to check out win rates for Talishar, but more importantly, paper tournaments, you can head over to fablazing.com. You can generate matchup matrices using most recently available tournament data. You can also mix and match. If you want to use different tournament data to determine win rates between different heroes, you can use the matchup analysis tool, which will let you compare different matchups. If you want to check the Syndra Verdance matchup to determine what the win rate is, Syndra, according to Talishar, is 54.8% favored over Verdance. But if you also wanted to see what cards make your win rates even better, you can use fablazing.com. I'm a big fan of the website. And if you want to optimize your gameplay in real life, you can get your very own Codex journal by using my affiliate link in the video description below and the code Lupine10 at checkout to receive 10% off your order. That is going to do it for me. I hope you all enjoyed this. I will be back Thursday at 4:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, hopefully playing Silver Age, playing any form of Flesh and Blood. But if not, get ready for another tier list. And until the next time I see you, thank you, all 18 of you who are here now, all 271 of you who hung out. And until the next time I see you, take care.